back, and today I'm going to make butter pecan cookies. I started doing the pecans already. I need 3 cups of pecans because I'm doing a double batch, and I measured out 3 cups of pecans and then I minced them instead of chopped them. I wanted to actually chop them in my food processor, but it overdid it a little, which is okay, but it ended up being a little bit less. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next bunch. These are like full pecans. Do the next bunch and see what I get going with this food processor. And if it's a little bit minced up, a little bit too much, that's okay too. It'll still taste delicious. And you can also buy pecans pre-chopped. So I'm going to just go ahead and see if I can get it to kind of just chop it and not mince it. But if it minces it, that's the way it's meant to be, I guess. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do it on low this time, see if that makes a difference. Okay, so it's a little bit better. Still, some of them, the ones on the bottom, end up being minced up more. So let's see what we got here. I'm just going to mix that up. And then I'm going to just pour it in here. And when I put it into the batter, it won't really make a difference because it'll all get mixed up. So that's a little bit, that's more how I wanted it. I'm going to show you. So that was almost like practically powdery. This is, that's a bit better. That's what I had in mind. But once it all gets mixed up, it'll be just fine. I'm just going to make sure this is actually the amount I need and I'm not short. Okay, let's see where we're at. All right, so yeah, it's a little bit over a cup, which is okay because this is under a little bit under 2 cups, so we got 3 cups here, and we'll set that aside and let's get started with everything else. So we need a cup of butter. We need 2 cups of butter. I'm doubling this recipe. We need 2 cups of butter. So each stick of butter is a half a cup. So half a cup and a half a cup is 1 cup, and then the entire package is 2 cups of butter. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I usually double my cookie recipes because cookies go very fast in my house, and I am going to take some of these cookies over to a party tomorrow, so that'll be good. I should have enough to munch on tonight and enough for the party tomorrow. I will definitely have to set the ones for the party aside so we don't accidentally just eat them. Sometimes with cookies, you can't stop at just 1 or 2, especially these delicious cookies. Okay, so now the next thing is my sugar. So I need 1.5 cups of white sugar. Sometimes I find the hardest part about baking is getting everything out, so I had to get everything out and set it aside, and to me that's the hardest part. All right, so when doing white sugar, you want to level it off. So I dipped the measuring cup down in there, and now I'm going to take the back of a butter knife and level it off. So that's 1. And here's my 1/2 cup. And level off this. So 1.5. And now it's time for the brown sugar. Now it's time for the brown sugar, and I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of brown sugar, so it's going to be the same amount. And when you measure out brown sugar, it is a bit different. Oh, I was meaning to grab a spoon. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start scooping, get the right angle here. Start scooping the brown sugar into the measuring cup, and then you have to pack it down. Some of this brown sugar I have is a little bit hard, but that's okay because it will soften up when I start mixing stuff up. But it must be packed down, almost like when you were little and you were playing in the sandbox and you're going to make a sand castle and you have to pack the sand down, it's the same situation with brown sugar. You have to pack it down. I'm kind of having to break up my brown sugar a little because it's a little bit old, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. And I can even use the back of the spoon to pack it down a little. Okay. Okay, so packing, I'm going to put it in here with the other sugar, and then I'll do my half a cup. So often you just pack it. Okay, so now there's the half. I'll just kind of break it up a little. Okay, so now it's time for the flour, and I need 4.5 cups of flour. And when measuring flour out, you also go ahead and take the back of a butter knife, or if you have a spatula, that's great too, a metal spatula, and you just level it off. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I need a half. I'll get my half cup measure, and I'll do a half. Okay, so the flour mixture is here, and now I need some baking soda, and I need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. What I do is I use a long measure, because it's easier, especially when your baking soda goes down. And I use this part to level it off. So it's going to be leveled off just like flour. So 1, 2, and then I need some salt, and I just use just a dash of salt because I don't like my baked goods too salty. So I'm just going to put just a little in my hand, put it in, and then I'm going to go ahead and take a fork, and I just kind of mix it around a little, and then I'm going to set this aside. And now it's time for the eggs and the vanilla extract, and I always add my extracts into my eggs. And let me see, I'm going to go ahead and just get some garbage over here so I can put my shells right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check for shells. If there's any shell, you're definitely going to want to fish it out of there. I always usually get 1 shell in. I'm going to wash. Okay, now time for my vanilla extract. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And by the way, I have preheated my oven to 375 before I started measuring. Forgot to mention that earlier. 1, 2. And I'm going to find that fork, and I'm going to go ahead and pre-beat the eggs a little bit. And now we are ready to get started, and I will meet you at the... We're going to go ahead and mix the sugar and the butter together. And on my mixer, I have 3 different attachments. I have this one, which you don't want to use. That's good for egg whites and very lightweight things. This is good for cakes and things like that. When you're dealing with bread dough or cookie dough, the best hook is a dough. So let's get this mixed up. a good idea to leave your butter on the counter for about 20 or 30 minutes before you start, and then it would actually mix up way faster. So mine was pretty cold, so it took a little bit longer. I'm just going to scrape the sides a little, and then I'm going to run the mixer just a little bit longer before I add my next ingredients. Okay, so I'm slowing it down, and I'm adding my eggs and my vanilla. It is very important to occasionally, especially now with my eggs in here. Oops, there goes my hook falling into my batter there. Okay, so it's important to go ahead and scrape the sides. Okay, now you can see. Okay, scrape the sides so that it mixes well. No matter how good your mixer is, scraping the sides is important, because it will just get stuck to the sides. And if you're going to do a lot of baking, I would definitely recommend a rubber spatula. It works very well. Start mixing this up some more, and then in a few minutes you'll see me adding the flour and baking soda and salt mixture. Start adding the flour so it doesn't go flying out. Scrape the sides. This is, by the way, wish you guys can smell this somehow, but it already is smelling very delicious. Okay, so scrape it, just push this down a little, and then I'm going to go ahead and once it's ready, and it's very close to being ready, I'm going to show you, then I'm going to start adding the pecans slowly. So that's how it's starting to look nice and smooth and mixed together. Key to making anything that's a pastry or cookie cake is making sure that you mix your ingredients well. Makes a big difference. So I'm going to continue to mix this more. Okay, so now it's mixed very well. I'm going to slowly add my pecans so they get mixed up well. Increase the speed just a hair. Okay, now I'm going to scrape the sides once again. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and mix it some more, and we're almost ready to start making cookies. Okay, I'm just going to look at this, and if I need to mix it up a little bit more by hand, I will. I want to make sure that the pecans are totally blended in there. Heavy mixer. I love this mixer, but it is pretty heavy. All right. It's almost, the smell of this reminds me if anybody's ever had pecan rolls that you get like at the big fancy gas stations when you're driving across the country, or sometimes at some stores that have the old country style candies in them. Those pecan rolls, that's what this to me smells like right now. So it's going to be a delicious cookie, I'm sure. Okay. All right, so it looks like it's properly mixed together, which is good. And so it's time to put them on a cookie sheet. Now time to make some cookies. Okay, so I have one of these, and they work really well. And I also have, I'm going to also show you with 2 spoons in case you don't have one of these nice cookie scoopers. So this is like a large cookie scooper. They also make them smaller if you need smaller cookies. And then also I just took my measuring cup and put a little bit of water in there because it's in between scoops. It's nice to sometimes just put your scooper or your 2 spoons in there to make it easier. So I need some space. This is going to go ahead and these are going to spread out pretty well. So I think I'm only going to do 2 here, 2 here. See, now it's starting to stick a little. So I'm going to dip it into the water once it starts sticking a little. I'm going to do this tray with this scooper, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you with the spoons in case you don't have a scooper. These are really cool to have. You find them in the kitchen stores or online. Not a lot of the kitchen stores are open anymore, so you have to do it online. So I'm trying to show you how it looks. So I will do a few with the spoons. So I'm dipping the spoons in the water. And then I'm gonna just do it this way. Like this. They start sticking, dip it in the water. The important thing is, and this is why I like the scooper, is to try to make them pretty much the same size so that they kind of cook at the same rate. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to fill all my cookie trays. I'm going to go back to my scooper method, I think. I just wanted to show everybody how the spoons work. And fill up the trays, put them in the oven. Again, it's 375. We'll check it when they're partially done just to get a peek inside the oven. Approximately, we're going to cook them for about 10 minutes. Let's check. My timer for 10 minutes went off. But my cookies, not quite done, but very close. I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom ones, the top ones on the bottom and the bottom ones on the top. I call it the switcheroo. And hopefully they will be done shortly because I can't wait to taste them. Okay, some of the cookies are done. I'm going to show you what they look like. And in a little while, I'll take them off the cookie sheet. They got to cool down a bit before I can do that. And then I will do the taste test. That smells good in the house. Now it is time for me to take the cookies off of the cookie sheet, at least the ones that have cooled down. I still have some actually in the oven. So look how nice. Whoop, I don't know if you guys saw that. Comes off the cookie sheet so nicely. And it will be time. Just want to show you how that came out. Time for the taste test. Okay. Smells delicious. There's the way the top of the cookie looks, the bottom of the cookie. We have the pecans in there. I'm going to open it up so you can see the inside. Nice and moist, luscious smelling. Okay. Very, very good. Very buttery. You can taste the brown sugar. Gives it a wonderful flavor. And the pecans are absolutely delicious. I actually kind of like that I made them smaller. Came out very good. Really good, really good. Probably very good with a cup of coffee or to dip them in with some milk. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll enjoy these very buttery, moist, delicious cookies. Hope you have a great evening. Thank you for watching. And if you subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And if you don't subscribe, it is free. And please like this video. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching.